Greetings and blessings, everyone. Welcome to the Awaken podcast. I'm your host, James Devitt, and today we are going to do a really interesting show. We are sponsored by the Blue Star Spiritual Group and the Blue Star Academy. This is where you can find the tools you need for your own spiritual journey. Now, today's show is called Connecting with Others, and so we are going to be talking about not only connecting with others, but the importance of this, as well as, how it can assist you on your journey, how it assists other people on their journey. Now, joining me again today, very, very excited, is Janice. Hello today.
Hello and greetings, everyone.
And it's very good because you actually came up with this topic, connecting with others. So why do you feel it is so vitally important?
It is very important. I came up with the topic because it's something that I've been thinking quite a bit about lately. The importance of connecting with others. So first of all, and most importantly, is the process of connecting with yourself. And by this I mean connecting with yourself deep within your own heart centers. And this is something that I find that I have to do and be consciously doing from time to time, particularly those times when I find myself moving more into a mind space where I'm analyzing things, trying to figure things out, and trying to judge and critique my own self. And then I know that I'm moving away from who I am and moving away from spirit, from the source, and from my peace and divinity. And so my first process is to connect with myself, and I do this by stating that I connect deeply within my own heart center, within the seat of my heart, and I place myself there more deeply than ever before, and I live from this space for this day. And by doing that, I'm then living from an authentic space of who I am. I'm also in my power and in my divinity. Now, from this space, it's more possible to connect with others as well. And through the connection with others, provide the kind of energy that is authentic, that enables them to also be their true selves. And they will feel that and experience that with you because they can feel that there's energy available that permits them to be all that they are and to speak their truth. Now, connecting with others is a way of expanding ourselves into our understanding of how things work. We are actually all connected anyway. We are all here by agreement. We didn't just agree to be here now at this time, but also we agree to be here now at this time with all of the others that are also here as well. This is a very complex arrangement. By connecting with others from our true selves, from our heart centers, we open up energy pathways that enable more of true reality to come forward. It enables others to speak the words that we need to hear. It enables partnerships to be formed, both friendships, romantic partnerships, connections, groups that help us build and create those opportunities that are there for us. So there are people in our lives and people that we meet every day, and each one of them has something for us. And each one of them, we have something that they also need. to move them forward on their path. And therefore, this is not a journey on our own, this is a journey with those others that come and go from our path.
So are you saying that at the base of it, at the bottom of it, we are all connected?
We are already connected. However, we've forgotten those connections, just like we forget many other things. And by connecting with others, we restore that understanding, we restore that memory, and we connect more with ourselves, because we are all one in true form. And when I say connecting with others, sometimes this might mean a momentary conversation. For example, if you happen to be standing at a bus stop, and there's a reason I'm saying this. If you happen to be standing at a bus stop and there is somebody else at the bus stop, and you feel this urge or this guidance or motivation, you feel you want to speak to this person, do it. Because there's a reason for it. And sometimes it's as simple as an exchange of energy. And sometimes it can be an exchange of something much more profound. It is true that a simple conversation, a simple sentence can change somebody's life. It can propel them forward in the direction that they need to go in. And sometimes we are working as instruments of God or instruments of the higher source, whatever you might label it. And this is what happens when you live from your heart. You speak those words that are required to be spoken as though you were an instrument. And that person at the bus stop may well have been praying to hear the words that they need to hear to move them forward on their paths.
Now, with this connection, you in the job that you have as a social worker, especially in a position of health, shall we say, you are required, generally speaking, to connect a lot with other people. Patients, doctors, nurses, community people, all sorts of different kinds of people, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, with that being said, how is that translated to you connecting outside of work?
Essentially, it's the same thing. It is true that in my role I'm required to connect or interact with a broad range of people. But what I've found is that there is always a common ground. Sometimes it's not always apparent, but it's always there. And so the challenge is, and there are many rewards to this challenge, is to be open and seek out gently and respectfully a common ground between yourself and the other. And this enables a bridge to be formed where the two of you can share a space of camaraderie, of kinship. With every single person, there will always be something that you share in common, and it's simply finding that. And through that, we build on unification. And unification is essentially what the new energy is all about. It's no longer about separation. It is no longer about I am this and you are that. It is about we are this together. And because you are that different from me, it enhances who I am. Because you are that, therefore I can be that too. So by connecting with others, we grow ourselves and we become an enhanced version of who we are, and we connect more with universal source energy.
So, with having said that, some people might say that they have difficulty in connecting with other people for a wide range of reasons. Perhaps they are people who do not share their own beliefs or viewpoints, or perhaps it is something where, because they have to interact so much at work, they choose not to interact with others outside of work. How would one get across from that and being able to connect with people in whatever situation that they find themselves?
I think it's about the consciousness that we bring by placing our own selves fully into our heart at the start of the day and going out into the world. We come from that God consciousness of love and divinity, and we then are able to recognize in others, in all others, regardless of who they are, how they are being in the world, what they are doing. We recognize them as our family. We recognize their divinity. We allow them to speak their truth without it feeling as though it encroaches on our truth. And through that process, we will find our common ground, and we will recognize our family members. And through that, we will grow, and we will be able to live in harmony with everybody and understand diversity is an enrichment of ourselves. The more diverse the other person is, their beliefs, the more richer we can become, because they're simply different dances to the same tune, and we're all on the same path together.
Excellent, excellent. Now, connecting with others is such a vitally important thing because we are all connected. But should the focus be on simply trying to connect with those people who are, shall we say, have the same beliefs as we have? Or should we be open enough and non-judgmental enough to be able to connect with anybody? Because at the end of the day, it could be anyone who might require that word or that smile or that phrase that you would say, or you might need to hear something from somebody else that would make such a difference on your own path.
Yeah. I would even suggest that the more different someone appears to be from yourself, then that in itself is an indicator that that would be a good thing, to be able to talk to that person, connect with them, perhaps experience some of their ways of doing things. It's a challenge to step out of our comfort zones, but it is so rewarding because it is an enriching experience, and it is a new way of knowing things through another person's understanding. And it's about being fluid and not rigid in what we know or think we know, but being open to continually to grow and to develop, because we know that truths are presented, but then they change, because even truth is subjective, and it's an evolving understanding of how things can be and what's possible.
Excellent, excellent. Connecting with each other also gives us understanding. There are so many people who are afraid of other people because of miscommunication, because of misinformation. They fear what they do not understand. They fear what they do not know. And by being open enough to open yourself to meeting other people, you enable greater understanding and awareness. When you meet people who you normally have never met before, it enables a situation whereby judgment, generalization, and judgment will tend to go away. There's always this element of fear. And originally that fear was based around survival instincts. So if there was danger coming, you would feel fear and react accordingly for self-preservation. But this fear has been misused in such a way, and by many different ones, to create fear in other people, to create fear of situations, to create fear of all sorts, that it's vitally important, and it is time to realize that in order to truly move forward upon your path, you have to look beyond the fear and move beyond the fear. Would you not say that you are somebody who feels the fear and does it anyway?
Yes, my path has often led me into situations that are fearful, and I read something once about how it's good for us to do something we're afraid of every week. And I think I've managed to do that in my various roles. But what I've found is that by moving through my fear, by being willing to step forward, I gain so much more than what I can do otherwise. And always I'm safe, supported, and guided. And I understand that I'm in these situations because there is something that I can offer. There is something that I can assist with. But also I'm there in order to fulfill an agreement and show up at the right place and at the right time.
And this is so vitally important. And you follow your heart and your guidance, and you do it very well. And with that in mind, just to give an example, shall we say, last year in September, the two of us were at the pub. And I had walked away to use the facilities. And when I came back, you weren't at our table. Why was this?
Yes, since we moved here at the start of the year, at the end of March last year,
Yes.
I seem to have altered somewhat in what I do, and I think I've spoken before about being more willing to say the next thing or follow my guidance regardless of what it might be. And on this particular occasion, there was another couple sitting at a table in this pub, and you went somewhere and this woman's partner went somewhere for a few moments, and I felt completely guided and almost propelled out of my seat to approach her and introduce myself and just say, we're new to the area, and I noticed that they'd been there before, and do they live locally? And we started a small conversation, and in the next minute she invited us to their table, and the four of us sat there. And since that time, which was in September of last year, we've become friends, and we see these two regularly now, and it's opened up a whole new aspect to our lives, and it's all because of doing something a little bit out of character and following my guidance, not letting it travel too much through my head, but just following my heart and seeing where it led. And I have always found that if I do that, regardless of how strange some of the things appear to be at the time, it's always for my highest and greatest good, and I'm always safe and supported. And time again, it's proven to be the right thing to do.
So I mean, it could be very. There isn't a knowing about what would happen if you said hello to somebody that you don't know. However, when you follow your heart and guidance and you discern, you will always say hello to the right person. and you will share what is needed to be shared, and the friendship might be for a month or 2 months. The friendship might last a lifetime. Yes?
Yes.
So there is no right or wrong. People get very caught up in one particular incarnation, and they feel that it's the end all to beat all. When, if you've had hundreds of incarnations, you've had experiences of every possible kind that you can possibly have. The only way to actually penetrate spirituality at its core is to trust your heart and your guidance, and to discern what you receive. Now, in your opinion, what do you feel is like the most powerful aspect of connecting with others? If you had to pick one thing above everything else, what would it be?
I think it's powerful to connect with another person, meet them in the common ground between the two of you, and through that be able to basically convey to them that you see them for who they are, you're acknowledging them, and there's an upliftment that happens to both, and something that wouldn't have happened otherwise. And there's often humour involved as well, and it just feels like it places both of you in true reality, even for a moment, where nothing really matters except who you are, who they are, and that we're all part of the same thing. We're all from the same family, ultimately. We may have all our different lifetimes and come from all corners of the universe, but ultimately, when it all comes down to it, we are all the same. We are all one. We are here together. We are here for our highest and greatest good. And if we can assist and support each other along the way, and sometimes it can be just a simple smile, and you don't know, but that can change a person's whole day. It can shift their thinking out of where they were into something else. And I think it's really important to not underestimate the power that you have to support and assist others, because life is difficult. It's a struggle. So much is going on. And if you can reach out to others with love, compassion, unconditional, positive regard, it literally can transform your area, your town, your country, the world. This is how things happen. Don't underestimate the power of it and your part in it.
So you see, it is so vitally important to trust and to open yourselves up to something that is much greater than you could possibly imagine. Now, the thing to also remember is the fact that not everyone you meet will have the same truth that you have, will have the same outlook that you have, will have the same manners or anything else. But if there is something there, the connection is made anyway. I mean, not each person is an individual, and we celebrate that individuality, and we celebrate the differences and diversity that everyone brings to the table, and that is so vitally important. So, how would you wish to conclude this such a valuable and powerful podcast?
I would like to conclude with a challenge.
I like challenges, so that's really good.
The challenge is this. Speak to someone that you've never spoken to before. It might be a neighbour. It might be the person at the bus stop. It might be someone in your workplace. It may be a shopkeeper. Whatever it is, the challenge is to say something. Now, you can say hello, good morning, how are you? I challenge you to say the next thing. Say a little bit more than what you'd normally say, and just see what happens. And if you feel guided in this challenge to approach somebody or say something, trust it and see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? They probably will say hello back and a new connection is formed. It's basically saying that they're okay and you're okay and we're all in this together. But that's the challenge. See what happens. Say the next thing.
That is such a powerful situation. And the thing is, you never know what the potential and the possibility can be when you just say hello or you smile at someone. How many times are you walking down the street and you see someone and it is so very obvious that they're having a bad day and you say hello or you smile at them? You may not even have a conversation with them, but that one act can change their entire day. The only person who truly knows your story is you. So if you see someone and you say hi, you might be assisting them to rewrite their story. And with that, we wish to thank everyone who has taken the time to listen in on this podcast. It is a wonderful thing to be able to do and to bring to you all. May you enjoy this tremendously, and many blessings to all of you.
Blessings and farewell.